always interrogate them because I was fascinated with the free world. Because when you go to prison, you're trapped in a world that don't exist no more. So when a young cat would come, I'd interrogate them for days. I'd be like, yo, what's this? What's that? And they'd just be telling me shit about what's going on. So when the kid told me about Google, I'm like, what? Because he told me, hey, I could type your name and I find out everything. I said, how the fuck you could type my name and I've been in jail all this time?
Yeah.
That shit don't make no sense. I thought he was lying to me.
No, yeah.
So I would write it down. I would write it down in my book of life because I had this thing I still got called the book of life where everything somebody told me, I'll write it down. Like, I didn't know nothing about relationships or none of that. But people would tell me, I'd be like, okay, so you live with your girl? Yeah, I was living with her. We went on a trip. Where did y'all go? Oh, we went on a trip. Yeah, how much did the plane ride cost? Because it was like.
It was new. It was new.
I'm in jail. I don't know
yeah,
nothing. Only thing I knew how to be a criminal and be on some street shit. I didn't know nothing about life. So I would just write it down in the book of life. So when I was in jail, I wound up getting my hand on a hot iPod Touch and a wireless hotspot. So when I'm in my cell, I type the Google shit up.
Yeah.
For the first time, because I'm looking through my book, everything, I type it up. I'm in my cell, I'm high, I got the curtain up. I typed in Google, Google popped up, I dropped the phone. I thought the feds was on me. I said, oh shit, this some scary shit. How do you know my name?
The ops, right?
It was scary, so you know, and then I just started learning more. I just was in there learning and reading shit, learning, and just listening to the OGs. And, you know, cause it was this one old head named Shoes. They said they thought he had cancer, but he wound up having AIDS. And that was my OG. I used to push him around the yard and go run and get his cigarettes, get, you know, certain shit. They told him not to smoke. He'd be like, fuck them, give me a cigarette. Because I go get him from the hospital. You know how they got like a hospital, like they got cells in there? So I'm pushing him around. He was an old gangster from Philly. And he told me, I seen him the night before he died, because I didn't even know he was, but he grabbed my arm, and I was talking to him, because we used to be laughing and all this shit, smoking a cigarette in his bed. He said, do me a favor, man. He said, when you get out of jail, live. He said, I never lived my life. I lived for everybody in the hood. I ain't never go nowhere. I ain't never do nothing. I never live. He said, just go out there and live, man, when you get out. Don't come back here.
What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot to me because it
But
was...
what was living? How do you live your life?
No, what he said was, to me, he said, explore. Basically, like, get out there and explore, because he said, I lived my whole life in the ghetto. I went to ghetto jail. He said, I kept going back down the way. He said, the world is bigger than down the way. The world is bigger than your neighborhood. And he said, and I used to be like, I was like, damn, and he just said, man, just please, man, just go see things. Go feel things. Just be free.
It's real.
And I come back the next day, and when I came back the next day, he was gone. And they lied to me, because I came in the hospital, because they always see me coming. They see me walking. They know I'm going to get shoes, take him around the yard, because it's yard time. Take him in the yard, get him, you know what I mean, all that type of stuff. And they was like, oh, he had to go somewhere. He be back. The lady ain't want to tell me. So I came back like 2-3 times, and then I waited till the shift changed. And when the shift changed, the nurse was like, oh, he left us last night. I said, well, they took him to the house. Well, they went to another house. Like, what? She was like, she was like, he gone. I was fucked up, because that was like he was somebody that I talked to every day, and, you know, I was so close to him, and he used to tell me all the stories, and it was just, we used to just laugh all day.
Yeah.
But I never forgot what he told me. And when it was my time to come home, I said, I gotta live, you know? I just gotta be free and stop worrying about, you know, fuck what people think. And I just gotta live my life, you know?
It's real.
Because it seemed like my whole life I was operating based off of the opinions of others and what I was supposed to be because of my zip code and my environment. No, you gotta be a real nigga. You gotta be this. And I ain't know that I could be somebody else in that, you know, and shit changed for me.
Man,
my whole life I looked outside the box. Even when I was getting arrested as a kid, I was outside the box and everything. All the guys that, my juvenile time, 50, 60 years.
Yeah. Everybody went to jail. It seemed like everybody made it to the penitentiary.
That's a brutal life to be involved with. Even if you're not involved, being a parent, being somebody's sister, brother, mother, uncle, dealing with that, you know?
It's crazy.
I really understand that life, man. That's almost, nothing's impossible, but that's close to it, you know? To be what I always call a bad nigga that seen the light.